Good morning, everyone. It's February 17th. Here's your morning news rundown. This is going to be about 4 or 5 minutes in length. To all those who have become paid subscribers to support my work over the past 24 hours, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you want to support my work, the easiest way to do so and allow me to continue doing this full time is by becoming a paid subscriber today by clicking the button below or sending a one-time donation to my Venmo, which is just my name, Aaron-Parnas. With that, let's just jump right into it. Today is a very critical day. First, Donald Trump and his administration have begun firing FAA, Federal Aviation Administration employees just weeks after the fatal DC plane crash saw an American Airlines jet crash into a Black Hawk helicopter. According to the Associated Press and others, the impacted workers include personnel hired for FAA radar, landing, and navigational aid maintenance, according to an air traffic controller who spoke with the Associated Press on anonymity. These employees were on quote unquote probation. A number of federal employees on probation have been terminated, but it is striking that the Trump administration has chosen to continue to terminate FAA employees despite the many plane crashes that we've seen around the country in the past several weeks since Trump took office. In addition, right now, as we speak, the European Union and European nations are gathering to discuss an emergency summit concerning Donald Trump, Ukraine, Russia, and more. Europe's security is at a, quote, turning point, according to the European Union president. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said that he will put boots on the ground, United Kingdom troops in Ukraine to enforce peacekeeping, to enforce any peace deal. Meanwhile, the United States is asking Europe how peacekeepers should react if Russia were to attack. Peacekeepers, for example, like the United Kingdom's troops, like other countries' troops, should they go into Ukraine. Meanwhile, Poland is not as keen as sending troops to Ukraine, while the United Kingdom is. So an interesting divide is forming. Moreover, we learned that the National Nuclear Security Administration, which terminated several hundred highly skilled, highly sensitive nuclear analysts, is seeking to bring back a number of them. Now, the Trump administration can't find their emails to bring them back. But what we're learning is that a number of these employees came from a Texas program, a Texas facility, which deals with essentially rebuilding warheads, one of the most highly sensitive jobs in the entire federal government. And those were the employees that were terminated. The Trump administration is now working to bring them back, but they can't find the personal emails of these individuals. Moreover, Elon Musk and Doge are actively seeking access to taxpayer data via the IRS. This is a significant development. The IRS holds the banking information, social security number, and other personal information of millions of every American, pretty much, who has filed taxes and who will be filing taxes between now and April 15th or October, should the individual get an extension. But his government efficiency office, Department of Government Efficiency, has requested access to an IRS system that has now retained personal tax information. It's unclear whether or not he has received access, but he is seeking access. Moreover, Claudia Tenney, Donald is a Republican from New York, has introduced legislation to make Donald Trump's birthday a federal holiday. Donald Trump was born on June 14th. Currently, June 14th is Flag Day, but her legislation would rename Flag Day to Trump's birthday and Flag Day. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, this is real. Meanwhile, there will be a summit between Russia and the United States and Saudi Arabia where the two will discuss possible Ukraine negotiations. The only issue is Ukraine has been left out of any such summit negotiations. And as a result, right now, President Zelensky is essentially trying to see if Ukraine has a seat at the table. The National Park Service has removed references to transgender people from its Stonewall National Monument web pages because of Donald Trump's executive order. And activists are speaking out saying that the rebellion at Stonewall would not have happened without trans Americans, which is very true. And finally, a piece of legislation in Utah would allow Utah schools and government facilities to continue flying Confederate flags and potentially even Nazi flags, but would ban the flying of pride flags in Utah. That's happening right now. Folks, that's all the news right now. It's going to be a very busy day, even though it is technically a federal holiday, being that it is President's Day. There will likely be, from what I understand and what I'm hearing, there will be protests around the country as well that I'll be covering. So stay tuned for more. I'll be back this evening with an evening news rundown.